Hey everyone, so today I'll be using Matlab to construct the load vector in truss flexibility method. For many of you who are not doing civil engineering, this concept might be a bit hard to understand, so I'll try my best to explain and make sure you understand what I'm doing here. So I'll firstly explain all the basic concepts and what we want to do. So in these specific structures, we have three different nodes, 1, 2, and 3. And on each node, there are 2 degrees of freedoms. So those two, and those two. The degree of freedom which cannot move are marked with 0. So 0, 0, 0. And the degree of freedom that can move are marked with a number. So 1, 2, and 3. And on some degree of freedoms, there are load being applied to it. And what we want to do in this structure is we want to extract the load on the degree of freedoms that are not 0 and put it in another vector called f. So for example, the degree of freedom 1 has load 10, and we want to put 10 in the first place of f. And degree of freedom 3 has the load 0, and we want to put 0 in the third place of f. So how we do that in the Matlab is pretty much we have to worry about all the vectorization and the for loop and if loop. So I already constructed a Matlab program for you. So CLC here just means clear up the screen. So clear up the command window. And we need to do what we need to do first. We need to construct all the vectors that are being used in those loops. So there are 3 vectors being used. We can see it here. It's the degree of freedom vector, load vector, and there is also like it's more like a constant. It's not a vector. It's the number of node. So we constructed here. The comma means it is a row vector, and the semicolon means it is a column vector. So we constructed all the 3 vectors, and now it's time that we construct all the loops. So what we want to do is we want to make sure our program sweeps through each of the degree of freedom in here. So A in this case is the column number. So how many columns there are? There are 3 columns. So A is from 1 to number of node, which is 3. And B is the row number. So how many rows there are? There are 2 rows. So for B is from 1 to 2. So if the degree of freedom is not 0, so we want to assign the load on that specific position to the corresponding degree of freedom. So for example, we want to assign this 10 to the degree of freedom 1. So 10, 1. So in this case, A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 1. So A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 1. So the load on 2 and 1 is 10. And we want to assign this 10, this equal sign goes leftward. And we want to assign this thing to degree of freedom of AB is 1. So we want to assign it to the first place of F. And this goes, then all the program ends. And what we want to get for our output is actually the transpose of F. So that's the transpose of F. So that little dash up here means the transport. We want to give this transpose of f to f output. And now I want to run this program to see if it works. Yeah, it works. Hope I explained all the concepts clearly, and leave a comment below if you don't understand anything.